Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Saeed TV. We are live for the Premier League debate show. And don't worry, people. Lee is on his way. He's just finishing up a meeting. He might be having a crisis meeting. Probably find out what meeting he's having with this Arsenal team because they bottled it yesterday. So don't worry, people. Lee will be here. But we've got man like Errol at the top. We've got Charlie at the top. 3-point collectors. How are you lot doing at the top, man? How does it feel?
I'm at the special top because I'm at the top of the top of the tree. No, I'm at the top of the pile.
That's fair.
So we're good. We're living nice up here. We're eating, man.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Charlie, chat to us, man.
It's been a good week, bro. We won a game and Spurs and Arsenal lost. You know, it felt like we're back in the good old days. But yeah, can't complain, mate. You know, wins don't come that often for us at the moment. So got to enjoy them whilst we can. And when they come with other teams' misfortunes, it just feels like a little bit better. But yeah, can't complain, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. Sava, your team. Listen, man, it ain't easy. Man. It ain't easy. What are you saying? Oh, Daps is here. I didn't surprise. I didn't know. Oh, okay. I didn't know Daps was coming. He said he was in work, but he made it. You know what I mean? But Daps, I mean, big up, man. Big up, bro.
He's not here yet.
Come on.
He's not here yet.
No, he's not. He's coming. He's on his way. He's on his way. Sava, how are you, mate? How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm not going to be shameless like Charlie and start celebrating old times after Chelsea win their first game in about 30 or something. So, yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. Happy Christmas to everyone.
Yeah, man. Big up to you, man. Not Patrick, Pete. Listen, it's dark times over there, man. Woo. Here he is. Dark times over there. Let me put him in the middle, man, because he deserves to be in the middle. It's the center of attention. But Pete, how are you, mate? How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, can't complain. Other than obviously football at the moment. I'm sure we'll get into it, but I love to see that Tobes is in the chat. Tobes is ready.
Yeah,
he's ready. Knife and fork there. He's ready to.
Come on. Big up, man. Big up. And obviously we've got Daps who's just joined us as well. Daps, hope you had a good Christmas, my friend.
Good. Been a good one. Can't wait to get up to Manchester and just let my bones rest now, to be honest with you. But yeah, Christmas been good. And you know what? It's mad. I was expecting to come back from the Club World Cup and be like, 7-8 points behind Liverpool and Arsenal. How if we win our game in hand, we're on equal points with Arsenal. The maths isn't mathing. I get how you feel now, Saeed, because you're looking at the league table going, how the fuck are Man United there? I'm kind of looking at it going, how are we only 3 points behind Arsenal with the performances we put in for the last month? But it's what it is.
Lee, chat to us, man. We have to start with you, man. What excuses have you got today? What's your opinions? You said City weren't that great, but like Daps has said, man, you know what I mean? You're not far away from them. You haven't really gained an advantage as such on them, man. But you, man, it is peak for you lot. Chat to me.
In the words of my illustrious brother Saeed, today I feel. Today I feel, man. Listen, man, there's you know, if you want to talk, you know what I want you to do is you lot get off the banter, the jokes. I'll let you say what you need to say, and then we'll talk football, because I know that I'm sure there's a lot of bantering you need to do.
No.
So do that, and then we'll talk football.
You're understand.
Talk football,
You've got to plead your case. You've got to plead your case to the panel.
Yes.
And start unpacking.
Yep.
Yes.
Because then you're going to pick up people what they say. So I want you to start. Bro.
Listen, man. I'll be real. Look, I went to the game. I predicted a 3-0 win.
You left early as well, by the way. You left early.
Yeah. Listen, I just want to add in there as well. Yeah, this is what I like about social media, because I left early, but I did also leave early for personal reasons as well. But I won't get into that. But I left early anyway. I wanted to leave early. Like the game was finished, but I'm not gonna get into why I left too early. But it is what it is. Anyway, long story short, look, we didn't play well. I predicted a 3-0 win, and we should have won 3-0. We had 5-6 clear-cut chances to win the game, but football is obviously not played by clear-cut chances. So listen, man, it is what it is. We didn't turn up. We didn't win the game. And listen, there's questions to be answered now. Look, for me, the most damning thing, which I'm looking at my team, I'm not making any excuses. And you know what? I want to say fair play to the Arsenal fans, because not one Arsenal fan is saying VAR is a problem. I haven't seen any problems. I've not seen anyone blame the referees. Okay, fair enough. Listen, fair enough. But normally Arsenal fans will be blaming the referee because of the whole controversy with the ball out, etc. I haven't seen any. Everybody's put it on the players, and I think and the manager, and rightly so. So that's what I will say. Now, I don't think it's far-fetched for me to say that, we should have won 3-0, because we had more than enough chances to win 3-0, 4-0 even. But yeah, listen, man, it's a really poor performance. West Ham had 2 shots on target, and they scored 2 goals. So fair play to them. I thought they defended quite well. But yeah, listen, for me, there's questions to be answered now. And I think the most damning stat that I saw yesterday was, I think Arsenal have scored 17 goals from open play and 18 goals from set plays. Now, that is something which I said belongs to Chelsea. That is how bad I think that stat is. I think that is damning stat with the amount of money spent and the time that he's been there. So for me, look, I'm not here to make any excuses. I think, we should have still won the game. I can't sit here and say anything else. So yeah, man, like Jesus, I don't know what more I can say. The guy is just not good enough to win a league. Even if we win the league, I don't know how we will win the league, but it is what it is.
He is good enough to win a league. It's been confirmed. It's factual. He is good enough to win a league.
Okay,
won a few.
As a standalone, he's not good enough to win a league. Hold on one second.
He lived up to his comments that goal scoring weren't his strong point. He proved them yesterday, didn't he? At least he was being on it. He was being honest.
The thing is with Jesus, Jesus has been part of a Premier League winning team at Manchester City where 5 players have all got 10 plus goals, right? So he can do the job. He helps to improve the numbers of a club, but other people also have to do their jobs, right? And now you have to understand when you get Jesus what he does. Yeah, he will help to contribute.
Listen,
he will help.
What I was saying.
Don't expect it. He is not Erling Haaland. He's not
what
Harry Kane.
What I was going to say
Salah.
is what I was trying to say is he's not the leading guy to lead you to a title. He's not the main number 9 for a title winning team. For me, listen, I'm not going to leave. For me,
you were confident in your team, though, Lee.
Yes,
come on, man.
Yes, to win. Hold on, Kate. No. Hold on a second. Because as I said, if you want to do the banter, do it. But you can't tell me that we shouldn't have won that game 3 or 4. Saeed, you did the what hate along. I saw everybody else do a hate along.
I'm not even a hate along. I actually wanted to win the league.
Okay, but you cannot tell me we didn't have he missed a chance, an open header from 3
Yeah, he did.
yards
He did.
out.
To be fair,
You can't expect me as a professional. He's a professional player. You can't expect me as a fan to think that he's going to miss that, because that is such an easy chance for even his standards. It's such an easy. Nketiah would score that, and he's definitely not at the level. So for me, we had enough chances to win the game. We had 30 shots. We had 70 something shots touches in their box. So for me, look, I'm not making any excuses. We didn't do enough. I'm not blaming anything to do with the referees. Do I think the ball was out, gone out for a goal kick? Sorry, I do, but I actually don't even care. I'm actually glad. You know what? I'm actually glad that it was given, because it kind of woke us up a little bit more, and it gave us no excuses. And look, I like Arteta, I like Martinelli, I like Saka. So I'm not gonna stop like lashing these players with loads of different like things where they're shit, they're this, that. I'm not gonna be too hyperbolic. But what I am gonna say is that I believe Arteta was at fault for that loss. Partly, I believe Martinelli was at fault for that loss yesterday. Partly, I believe that even Declan Rice wasn't good enough yesterday. But again,
he played for Arsenal yesterday.
One last game in a West Ham shirt for Rice, wasn't it, yesterday? It was one last time.
But again, no, I'll let you do the joke. I'll let you do the jokes. But again, you can't sit here and expect me to slander this guy when he's given us 8 out of 10s, 9 out of 10s week in. I'm talking not even week in, week out, twice a week. Every week. So he had one bad game. No, sorry. He had one bad game yesterday. I thought he was poor against Aston Villa for parts of the game, and he was poor in the first half against Chelsea. What do you want me to do? Start telling you that he's not worth 105 million? Because everybody here has been putting him as one of the best signings of the season so far. So what do you want me to do?
You say he wasn't good yesterday. That's all I wanted to hear.
Of course, yeah. So all I'm saying,
they won't ever allow any criticism.
And that was my point. That was my point. My point was why I'm happy with the Arsenal's fan base is, for the first time, it's not blaming everybody else. I'm not seeing online lots of people say this and that about the referees and stuff like that. I'm literally seeing everybody blame the players and the manager, and that's what is needed. There's no need to go into, Xhaka's not good enough. There's no, because that's just too hyperbolic. I'm not going to do that. But what I am going to do is objectively look at the last couple of games and say, look, and you know what I will say, hold my hands up, 100%. I didn't see how bad Arsenal had been over the last. I think people have been saying it for a while. I know Sava's been saying it for a while, that he feels that we're kind of overrated in where we are right now. I know Saeed, you've been looking at it for a little while. I know some other people have been looking at it for a while and been saying, and
can I jump in on that, Lee?
Yeah, I don't want to take your words as well. So.
No. You're right. Listen, for me, I think it's Arsenal fans overrating Arsenal. I don't think the rest of the league are overrating them. I think Arsenal are a very good team. I've said this all season. Every stream I'm on, I will say the same thing. I've not changed my mind. Saeed will know this. Daps I've worked with loads of times. Pete will know this. Charlie will. I've not changed my mind since day one of the Premier League. Arsenal are not good enough to win the league. Liverpool are not good enough to win the league. This league is Man City's. Always is. Always will be. Whilst they've got Pep Guardiola in the squad. Look. As Daps came in, this is the thing, right? Daps said, and I'll get called a Man City fan for this, so it's fine. Why not? I'll go on loan to Man City again, right? Man City have 1 win in 6 before the Everton win, right? 1 win in 6, and they've gone away to the World Cup, and you're thinking to yourself, right? Arsenal and Liverpool, those two have got to pull away. Like, you have got to pull away. In that time, Liverpool have drawn 2 of their games. In that time, Arsenal have won 1 of 4, right? And then people will tell me, oh, City aren't as strong, City aren't as good. City are going to be 2 points behind Liverpool Saturday night when they beat Sheffield United. With the 19 games. Hang on, just quickly. With 19 games of the season to go, City will be very, very happy with that. Listen, Arsenal are a good team.
You don't think Liverpool will be happy with that though as well?
Yeah, Liverpool will be as well.
Hang on. You will be. I just don't.
On your point, though.
Go.
not rate you.
Only going off your point. I don't want to feel like I'm interrupting you, but what I am saying is, don't you think two things can be true in the sense that yes, Man City will be, happy that they're only 3 points, but they can go level on points when they beat Sheffield United on Saturday or Sunday, whatever it is, and obviously Liverpool, they will feel happy wherever they are, but Man City haven't looked good, and it's not like Man City. And again, I'm not disputing your point because you are 100% correct. But what I will say is, Arsenal fans, I think, have been saying for this season that it's been more so isolated incidents rather than every single game. Just the same way how I think a lot of people have been giving a lot of slack to Kai Havertz when I don't think he's been as bad. So I'm not disputing your points. I don't think you're wrong. And for me, I think yesterday has kind of made me see a little bit more what everyone else has been saying for a while. So what you've been saying for a while, I think I've kind of come a little bit closer to that.
The difference is, right, most Spurs fans, right, will come on and try and absolutely batter when we've got no right to, right? I think Arsenal are a very good team. I just don't think, I've said this all year, you are missing a couple of key components to getting it over the line, only in my humble opinion. And the thing is, my humble opinion is based on, I've not seen you get over the line, right? This is the difference. I've not seen you get over the line. And this was a massive opportunity for Arsenal to put their stake. And as I said 3 or 4 games ago, Man City are not in good form, right? But they'll come good. Arsenal have got to take this opportunity. And in that time, they've drawn with Liverpool, which is a good point. Listen, drawing away at Liverpool is no one gets points at Anfield, right? It's tough. But Villa, losing to Villa, then losing to West Ham, whilst drawing with Liverpool. If I'm not wrong, I make that 4 points from 12. Is that right? 4 points from 12. And City will be sitting there going,
do you know what?
Right, we've not been great, but City like being in this position where they are chasing. And no way will they be not as bad. Because, let's be fair, they've only lost one they lost one in that 6 games, and everyone went on like they were.
Do you know what I was gonna say? Is the thing is, that Liverpool and where Liverpool are, it's almost at the moment I have to see it separate, Arsenal and Liverpool, because what you just said there, Liverpool, I know business end of the season, I know Liverpool can come good, right?
Yep.
So we have to I have to part that one, and I also know we have to go Anfield, we have to go Anfield and Emirates, right? We have to go Anfield. Arsenal have to come to the Etihad, right? So I'm looking at Liverpool, part that out. That is a different challenge, and that will end up with the Arsenal one. It was kind of, I was worried, because we've been in bad form, not looking good, to the point where I've been saying we can't presume Manchester City will come good, right? We've been that bad that we can't presume that. And I was saying we can't allow Arsenal and Liverpool to both get 6, 7, 8 points ahead of us by the time we get back from the Club World Cup. We've come back, and literally we win our game in hand. We're equal on points with Arsenal. Now, I don't know how, because Arsenal this season have been more consistent than City. They've been better than City. But we all know that Arsenal start off in gear and somehow turn into neutral when it gets into the business end. Yeah. It's not like if Arsenal all of a sudden come good business end, then we're going to be like, oh, okay. That's not what we see. Whereas with City, we've gone, how the hell are we where we are right now? Where if we start to switch it on a bit, we're going to pull away from Arsenal. Then we can focus on Liverpool, because I do see Liverpool are a different machine than Arsenal, because the fact is they've done it before.
Before you go, Errol, chat to me. Errol, let Errol chat to me. Go on.
Everyone goes on about City not having that great a season so far. They've not played that well. They're only 2 points worse off than the treble-winning season at this point last season. Arsenal are 10 points worse off comparatively to this time last season. So you can say that Arsenal are more efficient, they're grinding results out and stuff. But if you look at it, they are worse than last season because they're 10 points worse off. City are 2 points worse off, and there's a lot more to come from them. I look at Arsenal. Yes, they are a good team. How much better is that team going to get? We know how much better City can get, and we know that probably Liverpool will get a bit better as well. But how much better will this Arsenal team get? Look, if they go and sign Ivan Toney in January, then that's a different conversation, and they can certainly improve through that aspect. But if they don't get a centre forward in January or recruit in the right areas, how much better is this Arsenal team getting? Whereas we know City are definitely getting better, and Liverpool will probably get better as well. I don't know. For Arsenal, for me, this season is not that much. It's not got much more than we're seeing right now.
Can I just?
Errol, you go.
In there?
Okay.
Sorry. No.
Do you think, Pete? Do you think?
I was going to say, because it's interesting you talked about a striker, getting a striker, and you're talking about Jesus and all the rest of it. I don't know what you think about this, Gunnerly, but I think questions need to be asked of your wingers as well. Martinelli, Saka. Honestly, because like they were the guys that literally did the business for you last season, and they don't look like they've woken up. And that's just me looking on the outside in, watching your games. They don't seem like they've even woken up this season. It looks like that season has completely burnt them out, and they don't look even half the players that they are right now. Like, what's your opinion on that? Are you in agreement? Are you backing those boys? What? Because I'm me personally, and I think other guys agree that I'm just not seeing it right now.
Let me add fuel to that.
Listen,
fight,
I think
let me just add some fuel to that fight before you try and put it out. So let's deep it. My issue, realistically, is not necessarily with Arsenal, because I'm like Sava. I think Arsenal are a good side, but I agree with what Peach just said. What we've seen from City and Liverpool is to have players play consistently and empty the tank from one season into the next season, into the next season. When Liverpool went all the way with City, took them into the last couple of games, where lost the league, but when we won the Champions League, Klopp looked at his players and said, can you go again? Can you go again for another 38 games? Because that's what it's going to take now. Now that we've lost it on the last day, we take that hit and that pain, we take it into the Champions League, we go and get a win. But now you're going to have to carry that for another 38 games. Have you got it? Liverpool went and done it the following season. That was Arsenal's chance this year. The problem is, not that I don't think Arsenal have the capability to go again. The problem is the pressure that the fan base put on. I've said it from early. Mikel Arteta built a rod for his own back last season by achieving what he was able to achieve in the manner in which he did. Because now the pressure comes from the fans, all of a sudden now assuming all of your players need to be spoken about in the top bracket of world football in that upper echelons. So all season, Saliba's mustard. He's better than Van Dijk.
Better than Van Dijk.
I'm like, bro, what the fuck's he won? Like, put his medals on the table and tell me what he's won. Like, show me the level.
Saka's 150 million and all this nonsense. Yeah.
No. We had this conversation, though, Errol. We had this conversation. You're being disingenuous. Hold on. No. You're being disingenuous. You're being disingenuous. You're being disingenuous.
It's not a point, though. You lot are thinking that they're world class and that, though. You lot are thinking they're elite players and that. But in reality, they're not at that level yet. That's what you're saying, Lee.
Listen. No. Listen, you are making up a whole bunch of cock and bull here. What did we say only last week? The reason why we compare players like Saka, for example, to Salah, because there's nobody else to compare him to. So some people do say, okay, he's world class, right? But right now, who would you compare Saliba to in terms of the barometer of being the best player? So we all said last week that Arsenal fans saying that Saliba isn't necessarily overall a better player, but this season he has either equaled or been playing better than him. So right now, there isn't Thiago Silva in the world that's playing better than him. There isn't a Romero that's playing better than him. There isn't a Nicky van der Van who has been amazing, who has been playing better than him. But so you're making up this. Your rhetoric. No. Your rhetoric. Go on. No, you go.
Right.
You go.
Yeah, let him land.
You know what it is, right? The reason I entertain it is because it gets forced from the other way. Do you think I would be looking to put Saliba in Van Dijk's bracket off my own back? I'm only doing that because the media, as well as
but this is where I'm going to stop you. This is where I'm going to stop you. Saeed's the one that's comparing Saliba to Van Dijk. So who is he? He's
we had a debate. I needed your opinion. No, don't do that. I asked for your opinion. We did a debate on this. This is no, but how's he blaming this on me? I put a debate out there. This is what a debate is for. It said you to make the argument. So don't put it on me.
Okay, and what
is it you that started the rugby match shit as well, Saeed? Is that you?
No, what I'm saying to you.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
Hold on.
Rugby and Rice.
What I'm saying to you.
So
What I'm saying is, what I'm saying is that I think we have to be fair with what we're saying. It isn't just Arsenal fans. People making out like Arsenal fans are these bozos. That it's rival fans. How the hell do you get graphics of Sky Sports creating comparisons between Saliba? What? So is the owner of Sky Sports an Arsenal fan? How do you get content? What? Okay, you say just for the best. Just for this. Amuse me, Saeed. Saeed, you've got 80,000 followers. If you didn't think there was any smidgen of a conversation, why the hell did you have a conversation for an hour last week comparing Saliba to Van Dijk?
Because you clearly think hold on a minute. No. Hold on. It was a preview. This is a preview. Hold on. He's trying to spin it on me to justify that Saliba is somehow on the same level. I'm not here to defend your argument. I made it. It was a footballing debate that happened last week. So the Liverpool and Arsenal. That's what it was. Look at the way he's trying to spin it on me, Broski. We had a debate. That's what the show is.
You're not listening. What I'm saying to you is people have a conversation about it. We don't compare Mudryk to Sterling. Why? Because there's no comparison. There's nothing to talk about. The reason why someone like you, who's got 8,000 followers, or someone else, anybody else would think, right, I'm going to compare the best players at Arsenal, like a Declan Rice to Rodri, is because there's no one else to compare him. We're not going to compare Declan Rice to Calvin Phillips, are we? We're not. We compared Basuma and Rice because they've been some of the better players in that 6th row or 8th row, whoever it is. We're going to compare him. We're going to compare. We're not going to compare Rodri. We're not going to compare.
Let me just interject. Based on that logic, I can now compare.
Stop coming off this. Stop coming off this rhetoric. But no, all I'm going off. Listen, everything you guys are saying are correct. But I'm not coming on this rhetoric that Arsenal fans are the ones that are just living in cuckoo la la land, and we're just we're doing right.
You are.
Can I just
before you go, Mandem, before you go, I'm going to read a couple of super chats. There's a couple of super chats here related to the topic. Emirates Era says, Saeed, I'm going to be honest, last night showed us that we needed to see Zinchenko was awful tonight and had been for a while. The mentality of the squad is shit. Martinelli, 2 words, Rafael Leao. Zamia says, once Martinelli, Rice, and Saka, Odegaard back to many ways, we'll be fine. Plus, we are getting Tony. Emirates Era says, Jesus, my word, man, the guy is a BCM merchant. What's a BCM merchant? I don't know what that is. Also, Saka is protected. Yeah. Also, Saka is protected by the Hale End Merchants. Mikel, no trophies this season. Good night, Vienna. Strong words. And Jack Harbour says, rival fans had to wait until the 29th of December for Arsenal to lose a home game. Apparently, they bottled it. The City bottled it when Wolves beat them. Liverpool bottled it when they drew to Luton. But we've seen this story before. That's why.
Hold on that one. Let me just make on that one. Just to that one there. Yeah. Sorry, Errol. Then I'll spin it back to you. They can't say about did City bottle it here? Did Liverpool bottle it here? What we keep telling you is this is a Liverpool and Manchester City team that have been there. They have done it, right? So all people saying, I'm kind of bored of the whole narrative, City come good at the end of the season because it's pissing me off. I want them to be doing that now. But we've earned the right to say that. Now, Arsenal, factually, I believe, 4 of the 5 biggest Premier League bottle jobs have been Arsenal, right? When it gets to the business end of the season, that's when Arsenal kind of... So, yes, we are going to bring it up because for me, the mentality thing, the biggest thing I looked at yesterday was, like I think Sava was saying, Arsenal should be using this period to pull as far away from Manchester City as possible, as far away as possible, right? And I saw City come back from the Club World Cup and I was thinking, do you know what? Away game at Everton. Everyone else is saying we're going to batter them. I'm looking at it going, that ain't easy. That is not easy. Everton are in a bit of good form at the moment. We went 1-0 down. We're looking shite in the first half, but we got the job done. Then I'm thinking Arsenal at home, Liverpool have won, City have won. Arsenal will go and do it at home. Last game of the season. Believe the Ashburton army met up 2 hours early to march to the ground and everything, right? To then go and lose to the 4th best team in London, to me, that makes me question the mentality. Because yesterday, I'm looking at the players going, I didn't see no one stepping up yesterday. Not one player. Not one. I think Odegaard actually was probably one of your better players, but he got slated. Go on, Errol.
Yeah.
The thing is, and I wasn't trying to be or come across disingenuous to you before, Lee. My gripe is the fact that why can't Arsenal fans as a collective understand the importance of letting your lads in first. Why are you premeditating these things onto? Because you're only applying pressure. Now Saliba's expected to perform at Van Dijk's level. And not only are you as your fan base watching it and thinking that, other fans are now holding him to that standard, thinking, well, if he doesn't drop a performance that's worthy of what Van Dijk would do, or if Saka doesn't drop a performance of what Salah is capable of doing, they aren't on that level, they're not good enough. You're applying more pressure to them about this whole process thing. My thing is for you, you've got players like Zinchenko currently stinking out. Last year, you couldn't get enough of him. You loved him. You loved what he was able to do. It's like you're happy to take the smooth, but you don't want to take the rough with some of these.
Errol, can I jump in on that a little bit? I think one of the key things for me is, as I've said, I'll caveat, because otherwise people will just say you're Spurs, you hate Arsenal. I'll caveat by saying Arsenal are a very good football team. For me, I think what's happened is last year, Arsenal being in a title race from nowhere, because the season before they weren't even in the Champions League. So to get to that to that title race last year, and then what happened towards the end of the year, faltering and not being able to get over the line, I would have thought that the fan base would have used that as a bit of a, okay, let's keep calm, let's relax, let's take stock. But they didn't. What they've done is, not all of them. I always get in trouble for saying this. Not all fans. What I get a lot of Arsenal fans, they come into my channel all the time. They come into all of these channels. It's that over cockiness and confidence without having achieved. So for me, Arsenal, very good team. But you know what I'd be saying if I was an Arsenal fan? Right, let's learn from last season. Let's keep our feet on the ground. Let's not declare that every single one of our players is the best player in their position in the league. Let's not declare all our players are world class. Let's get it over the line. And then at the end of the season, you know what? If Arsenal, and they still could, if Arsenal get it over the line, they turn around.
What are they comparing to United? That's mad.
They turn around at the end of the season if they get over the line, and they then go to the rest of us. Well, there you go, we've done it. And then as football fans, me as a Spurs fan, Errol was Liverpool, Charlie is, we turn around and go, fair play, Arteta's done it now. You've got over the line. These players have now got something where you go, they've done it. The problem is, hang on, Errol, I'll cut you out. Right? The problem is, sorry, not Errol, not you. Sorry, I meant Lee in the middle. Sorry. The problem is, and this isn't just if it's Arsenal, this is of anyone, make it happen first. Like, we're so quick in football to talk about, oh my God, this player is world class because they've had a good year, when they've achieved nothing, right? When nothing, they have absolutely, you know, with strikers, we're seeing it now with Solanke. He's had a good half a season and everyone's going 70 million, 80. No, let these people do it year in, year out. And this is the thing for me with Arsenal. Just settle. Don't put that pressure on your team because you saw what happened last year. But all the Arsenal fans that come into my chat are the opposite. We're amazing. Saka's the best right winger in the world. Martinelli's the best left winger in the league. Rice is the best midfielder. He's better than Rodri, which is laughable. Saliba's the best defender in the world. You know, this, that, the other. Just relax. Let it happen. And stop telling everyone you're going to do it. Do it. Do it. But stop telling everyone you're going to do it.
Before you go, Lee, Saliba, Rice, Saka, world class, way better than Garnacho and Højlund. United fans jealous. Let me just tell you, Garnacho's got more goals than Martinelli. Just to let you know that one. Not
one of those three is world class. Not one of those three is world class.
We're talking about Arsenal competing for the Premier League. You've gone and compared him with fucking Garnacho, Højlund, who's only just got his first Premier League goal, and whoever. What are you doing?
That's the standards for Arsenal, man. It's the standards, isn't it?
So, in that case, they're better than fucking Garnacho and fucking Højlund, sorry for the language, then that must mean Arsenal are going to win the league. Come on.
Lee, go on. Lee, you're going to say something, and then I'm going to get Charlie involved as well. Charlie, and then you go on, have your say, and Charlie will have it.
Listen, I think, look, you know my thoughts on the game, so listen, it is what it is. It was a great question. I can't remember who asked me about the whole Martinelli and Saka thing. And listen, there are things that are going on with the whole tactical changes, but Martinelli especially hasn't played well this season. But my only thing I'm going to say back to Sava, I think from what he said is everybody on this panel are the people are the reasons why Arsenal are being lauded and put in positions that they maybe shouldn't be, because everybody keeps saying, oh, it's 4 years in, we have to win something now. So I just push back a lot. And again, I'm not sitting here saying that he's making it, Salah's making it. Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. I'll let you finish.
None of us have said that.
Wait, hold on, guys. You can't literally jump in halfway through a sentence. I haven't even literally said anything. All I'm sitting here saying is, you guys are the same ones that will sit here and say it's 4 years into this project. We've spent X amount of money. We must win. So when you come back and say to me, oh, Arsenal fans are the ones that are putting all the pressure on, I'm like, hold on a second. You guys are the ones that are putting all the pressure on Arsenal. You guys are the ones that keep saying, wait, hold on.
Why are you taking this?
Wait. I'm not alleviating anything of Arsenal fans, because we do hype up our players. But you guys, as rivals, will sit there and say, Arsenal need to win. Time's now. Man City are going through a transition. Liverpool going through the transition. This is the best time. Last season, this was the best time. So every single time we get
same thing. Lee, if you
I'm only going back on Trevor's point. I'm only going back on Trevor's point.
Let him finish.
But you're not going back on my point. Hang on, no. You're not going back on my point. Hang on, Errol. You're not going back on my point, because the thing is, not every fan has said 4 years you should be winning it. Certainly, on people like myself, how many times can I say it for all of you that stream with me? I don't think it matters how much you spent. You're not good enough to win this league. I'm not putting any pressure on you to win the league. Your fans. The problem is, Lee, not all your fans. Some of your fans, right? And don't get me wrong, Spurs, we have our fans that want to confess that Son's the best player in the world and Romero's the best centre-half that's ever played the game of football. And I said the same thing to them, right? If you put these people, whether it's a player, a manager, whatever it is, a club, when fans put people on the pedestal up here, you will be judged up there, right? Same way, when I say to people, right, and I'll talk about my own club to show I'm not biased, Son is not world class, and people go, oh my God, you hate Son, you've got an agenda. Too many bad games. And you know why I judge him on that? Because everyone else tells me he's world class. If you don't tell me he's world class or he's going to win anything, I'm not expecting those performances, right? Same with Arsenal. I don't think Saka and Martinelli and Jesus is a good enough front three to win a league. Your fans are the ones that tell everyone Saka's 150 million. There's no better right wingers in the world than Saka. Every big game I watch Arsenal, I don't know what Bukayo Saka does, right? Every big game I watch Martinelli, no end product. They're good players. These are good footballers. Declan Rice is the same player he was at West Ham. When he's at West Ham, everyone's going, Declan Rice is overrated. He joins Arsenal and Arsenal fans start trying to tell me he's Rodri. It's laughable. Right. Let these players achieve.
Just the way, like, Sava, going back to your point, going back to you,
let me just add something to it before you rebuttal anything. Not only is what everything Sava's saying is true, the pressure comes from the external or other rival fans, from a Liverpool's perspective anyway. You felt no way about pressuring Klopp. Klopp's a bottle job. He gets the finals and can't win and get them over the line. How many years he's been there now? He's got to do it. He's got to do it with this team. He's got his goalkeeper. He's got his DM. He's got his forwards. He's got to do it. So when you apply that pressure, there's a pressure that then has to be delivered on the pitch. Now, there's one thing to turn around and say from a rival fan's perspective. You've had 4 years. I think Arteta's built a rod for his back now. How long do you give him before you say you've taken his process as far as he can possibly take it? This has got to be the season where silverware now is the barometer where you measure his ability and if he's good enough for you. And if he fails to do that, then you've got to reassess at the end of the season. The problem is, I can put that pressure on you as a rival fan, and you can take that pressure and say, okay, I want my team to achieve, and I want my team to go and deliver that. I accept the challenge. I want my team to deliver it. You don't have to then inflate your players' abilities to try as if it's going to give them superpowers so they perform to that world-class level. You can just take the pressure, harness it, and say,
I'll be honest, Errol, bro, I'll be honest, I feel like there's a lot of making up. I feel like there's a lot of things that are being said which aren't.
How am I making that up?
I'll be honest with you, because as I've said to you, yeah, I'm not sitting here saying Arsenal fans aren't cuckoo. I'm not sitting here saying that Arsenal fans don't make things up. I'm not sitting here saying Arsenal fans don't inflate their players. But what I am saying is I feel that people on this panel now are kind of going a little bit overzealous with how they're making out like Arsenal fans are the ones that make up all of these things, and Arsenal fans are putting all the pressure on their own players.
No, you do.
You do. I get it all day on my channel. I just got Arsenal fans telling me how every game Arsenal.
Can I finish? Am I allowed to finish?
Okay, but it's got to be truthful, right? It can't just be that you think I've said this.
No.
I've not said it at all.
No, you have.
know what I mean?
Listen, of course, I'm not sitting here saying that you have said that. But what I am saying is that, like, I feel like you're making out like the majority of all of this inflamed waffle or whatever it is from Arsenal fans comes directly from Arsenal fans. But what I'm sitting here saying is,
it does.
But
You said a lot on this show. You said a lot on this show, guys. We said a lot on this show,
guys. All right, guys. You literally, you can't keep interrupting every single time I'm literally saying a point.
That's why you're in the middle, bro.
All I'm sitting here saying is this is where I disagree. That's the only reason why I disagree. The only place I disagree with is that I feel like it's as equally bad as rival fans as it is as everybody else. So I feel like the media.
Do you think we're on pedestals?
If Arsenal left with just a Carabao Cup this season, nobody here would feel like that's good enough, because everybody kept saying
because your fan base,
because of your fan base.
Because of your fan base.
This is crazy.
Lee, let me give you an example.
Let Pete go in. Let Pete go in. Pete.
Let me just explain, right? We've even got
go for it.
With Never a Foul, right? Where we kind of have to reluctantly. One of us has to play good cop when we talk on Arsenal, right? I have had so many shows where I will do 99% positive on Arsenal, one bad thing, and the grief I get off of Arsenal fans because you're not allowed to talk. How dare you talk about Arsenal? Because it's you put yourself on this pedestal, not you, but Arsenal fans. Arteta's better than Pep. Saliba's better than Diaz. Rice is better than Rodri, right? It is all you doing this. So quite simply, and I'll use the example of Klopp. That, there was when Klopp came out and said, we have the best defense in the league, the best midfield, the best fans, the best this, best that. And my response was, no problem. If you have the best everything, I want to see you win it. Yeah. So now, if your fan base are going to do this, every player is this good, Arteta is this genius, the atmosphere is different to every other ground, your burgers are better, the grass is a carpet, all of that. Then ultimately we're going to be like, well, yeah, fair enough. We believe you. You watch your club more than ours, more than we watch you. You must be able to win the league. Forget know-how. Know-how's not relevant apparently anymore as well. So it's cool. Go and win it. That's why we say it, because we're told that you're good enough to win it. So now it's like, yeah. And do you know what? The thing you're saying, I get the separate thing you're saying is about this many years into the process, the amount you spent and all of that. Again, Lee, you are the best at telling me how much Manchester City has spent, right? And that's why we are where we are. For years, we've had Arsenal fans telling us Pep is only good because he's a checkbook manager, right? City only win everything because of the amount of money they spend. It's that easy. You spend money, you win stuff. So now it's like,
before you go, Errol, I need to get Pete in. Before Pete comes in, Jack Harmon says, Eric Ten Hag.
I've got to go in. Someone just said, don't keep raising your hand. But honestly, this is the only way we get in to be able to stay a point, like, because people are just jumping all over the place. Like, I'm listening to what you're saying, Lee, and I don't agree. Honestly, first and foremost, your fans are the biggest reason why the pressure is on you, and that's just my opinion from what I observe on social media, from what I observe from Arsenal fans in this chat and many others, and also from what you say, Lee. And the point being is that on this show with us this season, you have consistently backed your players as being better than many others on this panel in any of our.
Tell me when I said that. No, and I just all I want you to do is tell me when.
You mentioned it.
No, clearly you can't do that. You just said to me before. No, bro. You can't do this, though, man. No, Lee. You just said, bro. Come on, Lee.
No, that's crazy. That's all I want.
Let me land
Tell
on
me
it.
when I've said.
Let him land. Let him land.
I've said that our players are better than everybody else's players. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking you to do.
Okay, let him land. Let him land. Then we'll get.
Yeah.
We'll get your opinion.
So you talked about Saliba consistently. That wasn't even the part of the initial conversation. I mentioned to you about Martinelli and Saka. You've also bigged those guys up as being better than the many others in the league as well. So you are doing exactly what you're blaming us for doing. At the same time, you've been confident all seasonally that you're going to win the league. And you've said it on this show many a time that Arsenal were going to win the league. Now you're moaning about the fact that people are saying that you're going to win the league. And now it's adding too much pressure. You can't have it both ways, Lee. You can't have it both ways. If you're going to big yourself up and say that you're going to win the league, like Saba said earlier, don't do it. Don't do it. You can't then moan that there's too much pressure on there.
Let me add on to that. The reason I said that Arteta has built a rod for his own back is because of exactly this situation we find ourselves in now. We knew the Arsenal fans, after what Sava said before about going the next season and just holding, keep your powder dry. Yous were all ready to say, declaim your stakes and say, right, we're going to win the league. We're going to do X, Y. We've got the best in this. We've got the best in that. Mm-hmm. Because now you've put out so much chest and exposed yourself. Everybody now is sitting here thinking the pressure's on, because anytime there's any signs of any cracks, you have done it to yourselves. Nobody asked you to overly gas yourself up to this point. You have done it yourself. So all of this damage right now, even if you say we're being hyperbolic, it's self-inflicted. Because and I'd like to just segue onto Liverpool for 2 minutes just before I dip.
Go for it.
The same way we're having this conversation, and Dap said before, I have to look at Liverpool in one way. I have to look at Arsenal in another, because we've went quietly about our business so far this season. At no point has any real Liverpool fan on social media really stuck the neck up of the parapet and said, you know what? We're taking the league. We're going to do this. At no point has anyone turned around and said, before a ball's been kicked, Virgil van Dijk's his best. No, we challenged him to get back to his level. So far, he's displaying it, so we're happy. But we literally kept a lid on all of our emotions, all of our feelings, and we've been silently ticking over. That's why I don't really feel pressured as a Liverpool fan in the position we're in right now.
Errol, if you the thing is as well, and just thinking about that in my head, because I watched Arsenal lose last night, right? And when I watched Arsenal lose, I watched, one, the meltdown of Arsenal fans, but two, I'll be honest with you, the whole Shark thing last year, remember, Arsenal lose one game and all of a sudden City smelt blood, right? It happened last night. All of a sudden, it's like, we can feel this whole overconfidence from Arsenal's fan base. We felt that one drop, our Sharks were the other side of the world, and instantly, like, Arsenal blood, like, we know what's going to happen now. Like, all of a sudden, the pressure on Arsenal's players is 4 times as much from one game. Now, if Liverpool lose, that will not happen. That won't happen.
And that's the difference in basis.
Yeah.
Madam. But before you go, I'm just going to read a couple of super chats because I've been waiting for a while. Jack Harmon, big up to you, Jack. He says, Eric Ten Hag took United to 3rd and won energy drink in his first season. Second season, he could finish out of the top 4 without a trophy. Isn't that United taking backwards? Yes, it is. Arteta's only taking United forwards. But listen, your mentality now is to win the league. United's right now, in all honesty, I don't think United are in a position to be challenging for the league. But you now are in your second season of challenging for the league. And if you bottle it again, like I said to you, if you go away again and you go finish, 5-10 points behind City, again, it's not a good look for Arteta.
No,
it's supposed to be bridging the gap. And
also, sorry, mate, it's also the fact that like, they're basically sacrificing other trophies in order to try and win the league as well.
There you go,
like,
exactly.
If you're like, as Arsenal, right?
Oh, I saw they did sacrifice the dog today.
They've not won much recently, right? Carabao Cup gets laughed about, right? Winning's winning. They don't turn up in that one. FA Cup, they've got Liverpool in the 3rd round, probably be the reserve team out. They could easily go out. Champions League, you don't know what's going to happen. But like Arsenal have consistently, flunked other trophies to try and focus on the league to make it easier and still don't do it. Why, when you haven't won much, you disrespecting other trophies? Do you know what I mean? Like Arteta's only thing he won was the FA Cup, right? He didn't even manage half the games, innit? He took over from Emery, halfway through the season or whatever. Since then, they've had one season where they went close to the league. A very good achievement. They've done very well. No one expected it. But now the pressure's on. Like, why do they still sacrifice trophies? Like, You know, when you're not won much, you shouldn't be you're not in a position to pick and choose what you want to go for. You've got to go for everything.
Yeah.
And Arsenal don't do that. It's not just them, by the way. Other teams do it as well. But Arsenal aren't, you know, you've got to win.
Do you know another really good example is actually the Champions League, right? That as a City fan, listen, I've fully, when people were saying, I used to, when City were favourites to win the Champions League before we won it, I'd be like, that is mad. Yeah, we have proven we can't get it over the damn line. Yeah, the one thing I knew, right? I'm going to the Champions League every year. People saying you must win it. I go, I can't tell you we're going to win it. I can't tell you I think we're going to win it because I've witnessed us in the Champions League while we're doing what we're doing in the Premier League. Arsenal fans, perfect example. Before the group stage has even been drawn, they're saying we want Bayern Munich. We want to show that we're good enough to beat Bayern Munich. That is Arsenal's fan base. Lee, it's not you, I get it. But you know there's people in your fan base that are screaming, yeah, why not? Why can't we? If City have won the Champions League, why can't we?
Yeah.
All of that, yeah. And that is a prime example of your fan base getting carried away. You haven't even won the league yet, right? We've got 100 points in the league, retained the league, done a domestic treble, done all this stuff, but
four Energy Cups in a row.
Yeah.
done all this stuff in the Premier League, but still with the Champions League, I'm going, I don't know. Arsenal have done nothing, but are going, we can win the Champions League. Why the fuck can't we? And it's like,
yeah. Facts. Twilly Hardaway says that every fan base is unbearable online. Clubs like Arsenal and United are just more noticeable because our fans are too big. We all do the same things. Listen, what we all don't do is like the video because there's nearly 1.3k in it and there's only 300 odd likes. You lot are taking the piss, man. Like the video, please. We're going to got another cooking now while Sava's here. Sava, talk to me, man. The history of the Tottenham. You know, you, man, don't go anywhere.
I'm gonna dip out in a sec.
love it all.
Yeah, go on.
It's been a pleasure as always. I know you'll get around to talking about how great Liverpool are. I'll let you do that on my behalf. Big up everybody in the chat. Big up Sava. Big up Charlie.
My G, enjoy your night tonight as well, man. Enjoy your evening, bro, tonight.
Safe, just
Big up, bro. Big up, bro.
But
yeah, man.
We've moved on to talking about Tottenham, have we? Lovely. Absolutely
Tottenham,
brilliant.
we have to. Because it's going to be a bit sad if we don't do that.
Look, what is there to say? Terrible performance. You know what? Brighton are, I said before the game, I wasn't sure how to predict it because Brighton are so up and down this season. You know, they're balancing the league and Europe, and they've not been they've not been very consistent. So I didn't know which one we were going to get. And I thought, you know what? Look, they've got a lot of injuries. We've got a lot of injuries. So to be fair, I thought we had more than enough out on that pitch to win the game. So I said, I'm not going to use the injuries as an excuse. I'm getting bored of Spurs fans thinking that we're the only club that have injuries in the league. It's quite tedious, to be honest. And they battered us from pillar to post, didn't they? They were hungrier than us. They won every first ball. They won every second ball. James Milner rolled back the years, looked like he was 20 again. Danny Welbeck and Pedro up top schooled us. I thought Pedro was absolutely fantastic for them. Can't finish, needs to sort his finishing out, but technically and his hold-up play and his dribbling was excellent. Gilmore was dictating things from midfield, and Son and Brennan Johnson had nothing to offer against Hinchelwood and an 18-year-old Hinchelwood and Igor, who's being played at left back when he's clearly a big bruising centre half. So it was poor. I've got nothing positive from last night other than how good Vicario is. If it wasn't for that man, if it wasn't for that man, I think he's covered over a lot of cracks for Tottenham Hotspur this season. My own fan base will be in the chat having a right pop at me. I'm sure.
About what? About what?
Just because
Lloris was, bro. Lloris was
not about that. No.
Every year.
No. Not about Vicario being good. Just about. I think that Spurs, we are so open in every game. Like the number of chances we concede in a game is embarrassing. There's no Romero, there's no Van der Ven, but
mate, why didn't Phillips play Saba? Like, what was the point in signing him?
Mate, it's so frustrating. You've got Ashley Phillips, who we signed from Blackburn. Dorrington, who's very highly rated, plays for England under whatever, and has been brilliant for our youth team that's top of the league. Another centre half, highly rated. You get to Van der Ven and Romero being out, and they're seeing two fullbacks played in front of them in Royale and Davis. And I just sit there and I go,
Or it's something to do with the name Phillips.
Mate, it's just it's just really, really disappointing. In a game where you've conceded 4 anyway, why could Ashley Phillips not have played? Like, why could we not have given Dorrington or Phillips 1 minute of football? They've not had 1 minute of football this season, whilst we've had injuries galore at the back. Look, Spurs we are the ultimate yo-yo team. We are brilliant to watch, or we're horrific. Last night was a horrific game. Newcastle, for example, I thought we were excellent. Everton was 30 minutes of brilliance, 60 minutes of what is this crap? Forest, we won, but again was bitty. I think the problem is we're a good team that are miles off it at the moment, who have had a really good start to the season, but we have got a lot of work to do. A lot of deadwood needs to go. A lot of players need to come in. And this is why, Saeed, I've been telling you all season, when everyone's been going mad about our Tottenham in a title race, are we challenging? Stop all that. Everyone's got to stop all that. Just let the manager have a year, 2 years to actually get rid of all the crap, bring in his own players, then let's judge what we are and what we're not. But I think again, like what we were just having a conversation about Arsenal, Spurs fans that have not all, the Spurs fans that are being put in the pressure on, we're definitely top 4, we're definitely in a title race. I can't see it, man. I think we're a good team, but we're right at the beginning of that journey. We've got a long way to go. Long way to go.
Can I say the panel question? And maybe I'll come to Lee first. Do you think Andrew's getting away with it a little bit in terms of his high pressing and whatnot? Is a bit naive, or do you think it's better that we see that kind of style of football in terms of the Premier League and whatnot? What do you think, bro?
It's funny. Listen, I don't really feel like he's as good as he's made out to be, but I don't think he's as bad as he's made out to be. But again, I'm not going to dump on the guy because, everybody else only a few games ago was saying, oh, what's that? 3-4 wins on a bounce now. They've come out this slump of 5. It's just, very hyperbolic in it. So, yeah, look, ultimately, they're in a position where they are. And they've done all right with, the injuries that they've got. But I do think that the manager has to try and adapt a little bit more. I can take some solace in what he's saying with playing some of the youngsters, because we've got some youngsters that could have come in and we want to see them. We've been 3-0, 4-0 up in games and we've not seen them. So I do think that high line is obviously a real issue for them. But I just think that Spurs are doing all right. Like, you have to say it is what it is. They're doing all right. But Brighton just kind of outplayed them, and those games happen. Those games happen in the day where players don't turn up, because I saw it yesterday in live. Full front, I was at the game and I saw Arsenal didn't turn up yesterday. So, yeah, listen, I don't think Spurs are in huge problems, but I do think that they just need to, the manager just does need to adapt a bit more. But again, I just go back to the whole, 1 minute Spurs are this amazing team, but not maybe so much because of the Spurs fans, but because everybody's giving Angie's loving this season. And then they lose a game and then, it's like, it was crap. They're this, that, they're that.
It was because of the Spurs, not Sava, but Lee. It's because. Look, I remember conversations I've had.
I don't.
If you don't think it's been Spurs fans that, again, if you honestly think that other people, this is a bit I'm not getting. Other people are getting carried away. Rival fans are going, no, I think Spurs are going to win it this season. I haven't heard that.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
It's been the Spurs fans that the same conversations last season I had with Spurs fans about the Champions League and said, look, do you think you're going to win it? If not, maybe right now, don't concentrate on that. Don't talk that you're going to go all the way in the Champions League. Focus on the Premier League. The same fan base this season have been, why can't, again, I've seen Tottenham top at Christmas before, right? Or in December at very least. That same fan base are telling me, why can't they compete this season?
Yeah, but I didn't. No. If Spurs fans are going to say why can't they win it? It's not crazy to think that.
No. But then the answer was.
What I'm saying is, no. Hold on.
When they say that, the response to that was because your squad is not big enough. Yeah, and then when it's proven that squad is not big enough, that's what it is. It's just
saying. Listen, no, you're taking what I'm saying, and you're taking what I'm saying and taking it into your own language. I'm simply saying that I've not heard many Spurs fans this season. I've heard Spurs fans say, look, they're realistic. They know they need to spend in January. That is what I've heard. Tobes, who I know personally, say that. I've heard even George, who we know, Sean. I've seen Spurs fan this season be a lot more realistic. Yes, they've been a bit excited. Of course, why the hell wouldn't they be? You know who I've seen actually be a bit of a knobhead this season? Jamie O'Hara. That's it. And that's me being honest. That is me being honest. And listen, I'm an Arsenal fan.
Jamie O'Hara is everyone's knobhead anyway.
Why wouldn't I take this moment to split to dump on Spurs? But I haven't seen Spurs fans go crazy this season, as maybe you think.
Can I just jump in? Because I do need to jump in literally like 1 minute, Saeed. And just to have a sound. Listen, I think it's like anything, right? It's either there. I think it's like anything. It's probably there in the middle. The problem is there's a lot of YouTubers that are Spurs content creators that are saying like keep calm, do this, the other. But at the same time, what they want to do to make sure they keep their followers is they still say things like, "Oh, but we could win the league." I've been one of the ones that has gone, "Oh, shut up. Like, what are you talking about winning a league title? Like, what are we talking about?" And half of the reason is because of what Daps just said. Have Spurs got a brilliant 11? I think when everyone's fit, and this is such an overused term in football, yeah, but football isn't won with an 11. And as I said to everyone, when we were having that 10-game spell where we didn't lose, yes, we're going to win more games than we lose, or we didn't lose one because we had our best 11 every game. Now you haven't got your best 11. This is where you see what a squad is made of. This is where you see what a club is made of. And you've seen in the last 9 games, since that 10 game where we didn't lose, you've seen that we've not got enough. What we've also got for me is I think we've got a brilliant style of play in Ange when it works. When it doesn't work, it looks very easy to break through. And I think that to do that, you need top quality players. So for me, I think that we're a good, I'll just end it off with this. I think we're a good team. I've said all season, 5th to 7th is where I think we'll finish. If he gets 4th, I think that's a phenomenal year in his first year.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
But any talk of winning the league, I just can't get out. Any Spurs fan would look at Liverpool, Arsenal, City and go, we've got more than them. So, look, guys, I do
think a lot of Spurs fans this season have said realistic top 4, and they've said, oh, more and more. I think they've got a bit excited because Man United have been so shit. They're like, do you know what? I've heard a lot of Spurs fans say they're guaranteed top 4 to go for the title. I haven't heard many people go on about it, and that was all I was saying. But listen,
but running a Spurs channel with hundreds and hundreds of Spurs fans in every show, and you get what I get, Lee, is you're negative. You hate Spurs. You hate Ange because I dare to say, hang on, before we talk about winning leagues, could we maybe get a third centre back that isn't Ben Davies or Emerson Royale? Do you know what I mean? But listen, guys, much love. Big up to everyone in the chat.
Yeah, big up to everyone, man. Make sure you're following people.
Yeah, take care, everyone. See you soon.
Well. Bye, big up, man. Yeah. Before we do wrap up, Lee, big up, man. Big up, bro, Lee. Before we do wrap up, I want to touch on Newcastle because they're in trouble.
We must.
Newcastle,
we must.
Newcastle. What's going on? Chat to me. Newcastle.
Hey, packed by Chris Wood.
Oh, Chris, no, it's not Chris Wood anymore. It's not Chris Wood anymore. It's Chris did. Chris does.
Hey. But let me ask you a question, yeah. Is there a situation, yeah, where we can look at and say that Eddie Howe could potentially be sacked soon? Is there a possibility, Pete, that it could be? I know you don't want it. I don't think your fan base managed to get sacked like that. You know what I mean? He's took you from the barrels of where relegation zone to now dreaming of Champions League and whatnot. But is there a worry from you that he could be sacked soon?
No.
You surely?
No.
Sorry, you sure, Pete?
Are you sure?
No.
Because
I honestly, look, there's 2 sides to this. I'm going to give you my opinion.
The fan side and the realistic side.
A different perspective. For me, I don't see, look, this month in January, I'm not going to lie, and I did my preview with Errol on Loaded Mag last night.
Yeah.
It's not going to get any better. Let's be honest.
Liverpool
away, Man City at home, Villa away. They're all January games in the Premier League. Like, it ain't getting better anytime soon. We're going to have to pull some miracles out the bag to get any points on the board there. Obviously, we've got the Mackhams, we've got the unwashed rivals next Saturday in the FA Cup, so that hopefully should be a win. But honestly, in my opinion, Eddie Howe will be here for the remainder of the season, and I genuinely think he'll be here at the start of next season as well, at the very least. I think they're going to give him this time. However, what I would say is I've been surprised, and we can only take it from social media. Social media is only a very small percentage of the fan base. I have actually been surprised at some of the reactions with regards to Eddie Howe in terms of calling for him to be out. And from people that I know and follow me on socials, that I would never have expected that to come from, for what Eddie Howe's done. And that surprised me. But I think the owners look, we'll see this in January, hopefully, in that they'll show their full backing for him, because they'll not go and spend hundreds of millions. It ain't going to be that. But they'll go and back him by bringing in 2-3 players, whether it's one permanent, a couple of loans, but first team ready players to come in and do a job. Like, we've already been linked with Calvin Phillips as one. We're already looking at a goalkeeper, because Dubravka is just shit.
Yeah, he's shit. I told you,
look, when you guys gave him back, I blame you, Saeed, because when you gave him back last January,
we seen him in the Carabao Cup, and we're like, yeah, get this guy out, mate. He's awful.
I know, and we were happy that he was there, Saeed. That was the whole point. Is that we had Nick Pope, but when he came back at that point, I said to the loaded boys, I was like, I don't want him back. Like, if we're gonna have him back,
do you want Calvin Phillips?
Sorry.
Do you want Calvin Phillips? Do you think Calvin Phillips is good enough to? I
don't think he's good enough to elevate Newcastle.
I think he makes a difference, though. Surely, in terms of
he doesn't. He doesn't.
Honestly, Calvin Phillips will improve this team, and I'll tell you why. Is if
not sure.
And I wish Sava was on it, because Sava would testify to this as well. A big part of our absolute shocking run, lost 6 of the last 7 in all comps. Like, it has been a horrendous run, right? But what I will say is that this is our first bad run in nearly 2 years under Eddie Howe. So I will say that, and that's where I think he'll get some grace, because this is his first bad period. Everything's been rosy.
No. He's had another bad period.
Yeah, not as bad as this.
No,
we had a period in January last. We had another period in January last year. We were drawing a lot of games, but we're still picking up points, and that's the difference.
Yeah, but you can't hold on. You can't say we haven't had a bad period just because it wasn't as bad. It was still bad.
Well, this is his first horrendous period.
Yeah,
because he's losing games week in, week out. Right. Yeah. For me, I think Calvin Phillips improves this team. And the reason why, and I've been calling for it for weeks and weeks and weeks right now, is that we don't have a traditional number 6. And if you look at the way Newcastle United play, it's easy. It's easy to get through us now, where it wasn't last season, is that we don't have a sitter. We have a dictator in Bruno Guimaraes, and he's fantastic and great at what he does. He's playing well. But what he does, he vacates his position, because he always presses high. And when he presses high, if that press gets broken, he's exposed. And then you've got a clear run through that midfield. And I've been saying it for ages, particularly away from home. We need a number 6. I call him a ball breaker. Someone sits in there, like a Rodri. I'm not saying we're going to get someone of that ilk. We won't. But someone like him that can come in and just sit.
But would it not worry you?
Through. That's what we need right now. And look, Eddie Howe and Newcastle have been linked with a midfielder at number 6 for a long while. Eddie Howe doesn't traditionally play with one. And this is where he's going to have to evolve himself as a manager to start playing in a different way. And this is going to be the test. You're asking me, does Eddie Howe get the sack? I'm telling you right now, no. But there'll be certain factors that I'm expecting to see from my manager in the next 6 to 8 months that will determine whether he gets sacked or not. Yeah. First and foremost, will he start buying first team ready players, like ready to go players? He did, to be fair with Tonali. He wasn't expecting what happened with him. Harvey Barnes, he's been out for months with a broken foot. Hopefully back in January. But we need ready-made players in. Is he going to go and get that done?
I don't know. Because you've got Phillips coming in. Phillips, a player that's so rusty because he hasn't played enough. And you're saying about him coming in and I get what you're saying, because I've said, do you know what? When Rodri was out, just play Calvin Phillips. Don't ask him to do the Rodri thing. Ask him to go in and be a destroyer, right? But the fact that Pep has been like, I don't think he can do that, right? Where Newcastle are at the moment. Now, I would agree that he would get till the end of the season, Eddie Howe. I think he will. right? However, like you, I'd heard about elements of your fan base, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the bit where I think Newcastle's owners will be willing to give him till the end of the season at very least. But if they were to hear moaning amongst your fan base, they might go, all right, fair enough. Well, we were willing to. But if the fan base already, are turning on him a bit. And look, I've said it from the start, and Eddie Howe has been proving me wrong massively. Yeah, I said, it's going to take them bringing a pragmatic manager like we did. We had Mark Hughes. Mark Hughes got his ceiling. Once he hit his ceiling, it was goodbye. Bring in Mancini, the Italian, win a league, right? I've always said it. I think sooner or later, Newcastle United, to win their first trophy, will need, whether it be
serious manager.
Whether it be a Jose, whether it be I still think Simeone suits them. They can afford Simeone, the one club that can afford Simeone. Someone like that will end up getting the shout. And the thing is, where you look at it at the moment is, when I say this, everyone goes, no, we're still way ahead of the trajectory and the objectives. I agree, yeah. Newcastle are further ahead than we expected them to be.
Of course.
However, Arsenal last season never thought they'd challenge. At Christmas time, they had to relook at where they are and change their objectives, right? After last season...
The gap's closer now between Man United and Newcastle and them teams now. It's closer. Not as big as what it used to be.
Getting to the Carabao Cup final, finishing in the top 4, getting Champions League football. You have had to change your objectives. Right now, yeah, if you lot don't qualify for the Champions League, you don't get to a cup final, you are going backwards, right? And I don't care what people say. People go, no, you're not seeing the overall project. I am. And I'm still saying Newcastle are doing well in the number of years to where they are. But the fact is, if you don't get Champions League football and you don't win something, you are going backwards, right? And the owners will be sat there going, what manager? And people are going to be telling them, this manager is available,
and
that manager is available.
And that's where I agree with you. And that's one of the other variables that I was going to talk about, is that there are certain things that we need to see from Eddie Howe in his evolution. Because let's face it, let's be honest, this is the highest Eddie Howe has ever been in his managerial career. Fighting at this end of the table, Champions League, fighting for Europe again this season. He's never been here. So he's learning and experiencing things on the job. For me, we need to be seeing changes in style. So away from home, we need to play with the number 6 or playing a different way that allows us to not be cut through. Secondly, it's where we finish. Now, we wanted to get Champions League football again. I don't think that's going to happen. We're too far away. And there's too much of a gap to bridge, as well as having a really difficult January. It's just not going to happen. However, the minimum target should be is to finish in at least the Europa League conference position.
Europe at least.
So if we're putting back-to-back European seasons on there, it gives us an opportunity to still play European football and build. The only way you get to be one of those teams fighting at the top table is if you're regularly getting European football. West Ham have had it. This is their 3rd season back now that they've put European seasons. And this is why you're seeing them improving this season and getting the quality of players in, because you're only going to get those players come to you if they know you're playing some form of European football every season. They're going to want to be joining you. And there are other teams there. You've got Brighton, you've got Villa, you've got Chelsea may well push up toward between now and the end of the season. So you've got massive competition there, and that is going to be the pressure that Eddie Howe has got. I think if he gets Europa League, Europa Conference League, I think that sees him through to next season.
Does it get any easier? Does it get any easier as well? Yeah.
And that's the key thing there. But you're right in what you're saying, is that with the ownership, PIF, they could just, at the moment, Amanda Staveley and Mirdad, they're running the day-to-day stuff, but PIF, they make the decisions. They pull everything. They're the cogs there that making it all tick, because they've got the financial back. And all it takes is from them is to say, I don't think this is working. I think we need to make a change. And that's where it takes everything away from what I'm thinking right now. I'm expecting Eddie Howe to lead us out first game of the season next season. But PIF might have other ideas, and that's where it goes beyond the fans. But you're right, if the fans are not happy, and I don't think they will be by the end of the season, in my opinion, the fans will have a say, because the owners, particularly Amanda and Mirdad, do listen to the fans, particularly about on-field stuff, not necessarily off-field, but on-field stuff. It's that situation. But look, we're going through a bad moment. We have been playing shocking. Some of it early on was down to lack of players, lack of fitness, all that sort of stuff. But I'm sorry, Luton and Forest, with all due respect to those clubs, we should, if we've got any aspirations of finishing in those European spots, we win those games. We win those games because we knew what was coming in January with these round of fixtures. We had to win them, and we didn't. And it was the manner in which we lost. It was the lack of effort at Luton and the lack of will and determination. They outfought us, battled us, worked us. They had better quality than us. Like, that's not a Newcastle United team that I've recognised over the last 2 years. And at Forest,
so we love everyone. I've got to jump to grab something. Love
we were comfortable.
Have a good New Year, yeah?
Take care, bro.
Yeah, you too, Dax. Big up, man. We're going to wrap up now.
We were literally there. We were comfortable against Forest. 1-0 up, dominating possession. Risky play at the back, but we were dealing with it. And then as soon as they equalised, crumbled. And fair play to Chris Wood. A really well-taken hat-trick. And yeah, for me, I'm hoping it's a wake-up call for Newcastle United.
Absolutely. And it doesn't get easier. Liverpool on Monday. So listen, it's going to be a big one. But listen, guys, we're going to wrap up here. I think there's about 50 likes until 600 likes. So please, guys, if you're watching right now, over 1,000 people still here, hit the like button. Get us up to 600 likes. Charlie, it's been a big one. Big up to you for jumping on. And also big up to Pete for jumping on. Big up to Errol. Big up to Savo. Big up to Daps. Big up to Gunali. He got cooked as well. So make sure you guys like the video. I'll be live later on with a Big Six. And also we'll be live tomorrow. Couple of watch-alongs tomorrow. United playing tomorrow. I think I might do Chelsea Luton, but I don't know if I want to do that.
Nah, mate,
listen, people.
Watch some good football side. 12:30.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. 100%, 100%, man. But listen, people, we're out. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you soon, guys. Take care.